If you are looking to buy a new PC build and you are working with a tight budget, this video is going to be for you. I will show you 3 different gaming PC builds, all of them being under $1,000, and I will also explain to you the level of performance that you will get with these PC builds at 1080p and 1440p resolution. That way you know what you are getting, especially if you know nothing about computers. All the links to these PC builds will be down below in the video description. With that being said, let's start. With the first PC and the cheapest one, we have a $600 1080p Ultra Gaming PC. This one has the Ryzen 5 5500 for the CPU and the RX 6600 for the GPU. This CPU and GPU combo will allow you to play at 1080p 70 plus FPS on average on high to ultra settings in most games. In fact, on a 12 game average on ultra settings on high demanding titles, the RX 6600 got an average of 73 FPS, meaning that it's very powerful for 1080p resolution. And also, if you want to play 1440p easy to run games, you will be able to achieve 60 plus FPS on average as well. Honestly, this is a very powerful computer for just $600. For the rest of the components, you get a B550 motherboard that has plenty of features for the price and it's going to be enough for gaming. You also get 16 gigs of RAM, which is enough for gaming once again, a 1TB Gen 4 SSD in the crucial P3 Plus, the Montech Air 100 ARGB Micro ATX mid-tower case, which in my opinion is the best budget case at the moment because you get 4 pre-installed fans, a beautiful aesthetic and a front mesh panel, so plenty of airflow for this type of builds. And last but not least, for the power supply, you get a 600 watt 80 plus gold power supply that fits the wattage requirements and most importantly will not explode. When I'm recording this video, the total price for this system is $591. Moving on to a more expensive system, we have the $750 1080p Ultra or 1440p High gaming system. Here for the CPU, you get the Ryzen 5 5600, which is an upgrade from the Ryzen 5 5500, and this is a nice upgrade, especially if you want to play easy to run titles such as Fortnite on low settings and you want to achieve 200 plus FPS on average. Then for the graphics card, you get the new RX 7600 XT. This is a 16 gigs of VRAM graphics card that is actually okay for the price, and most importantly will give you amazing performance at both 1080p and 1440p resolution. Once again, on that 12 game average I've mentioned before, the RX 7600 XT was able to average 95 FPS, and remember that we are talking about high demanding titles on ultra settings, and then at 1440p got an average of 67 FPS, which once again is a very high number considering the type of games that we are talking about. On top of that, you can always use FSR, which is the upscaler from AMD, and get higher frame rates in high demanding titles on high to ultra settings. But I want to mention the RX 6700 XT, which is worth considering. It's about $20 more expensive, but it's going to give you a 10% faster gaming performance. On that same test at 1440p, the 6700 XT got an average of 76 FPS and 105 FPS at 1080p resolution. So if you are willing to spend $20 extra for the GPU, I think it's worth considering it since it's faster. But of course, not everything is better in the 6700 XT. For example, you don't get AV1 encoding, which is going to make your streams have better image quality. So if you're going to do streaming on YouTube, then the 7600 XT is the clear winner. And it's also from a newer architecture. Anyway, for the rest of the components, we have the same exact components as the $600 PC, and the total price when I'm recording this video is $758. Maybe when you are watching this, it's more expensive or cheaper. I highly recommend you checking the links in the description for the latest prices. And then with the best PC build under $1,000, we have the $900 1440p Ultra Gaming PC. This one is going to allow you to play at 1440p Ultra settings with no issues, and if you want to play at 1080p, I believe it's a bit of an overkill, but you can play at 1080p if you want and get very high frame rates. This one has the same CPU as the last one, the Ryzen 5, but for the GPU you get the RX 6800. This is once again a 16 gigs of VRAM graphics card, but in terms of performance, it's about 36% faster on average than the RX 7600 XT from the last system. Going back to the test from TechSpot, at 1440p on that 12 game average, the RX 6800 was able to average 94 FPS, which is a big margin between the 7600 XT and the 6800. And then if you care about 1080p resolution, the 6800 was able to average 127 FPS compared to the 95 FPS from the 7600 XT. So if you want to play at 1440p ultra settings, I believe the $900 system is really worth the buy and you will have an amazing experience with with this PC. However, if you want to play easy to run games such as Fortnite on low settings, then I would recommend you an Nvidia GPU because the game runs more stable and smoother on Nvidia GPUs, and also a different CPU because those games on low settings at 1080p for example are more CPU demanding. But if your favorite games are single player, high demanding titles, then this PC is going to be great. And I did make a video on the 3 best PC builds for esports type of games. That video will be in the top right of the screen in case you are interested in playing those type of games. Then for the rest of the components for this $900 build, we get the Deepcool CG560 for the case, amazing airflow, and it comes with 4 pre-installed fans. Then you get 32 gigs of RAM, which is going to be ideal if you want to do streaming and also content creation or productivity work on the side. Then for the motherboard, you get the Gigabyte B550 Gaming X B2. This one is a very complete motherboard for just $118 and it's going to get the job done. Then for storage, you get the same 1TB of Gen 4 SSD from Crucial. And last but not least, the power supply, you get the MSI Mag A650BN 650 watt 80 plus bronze power supply, which once again fits the wattage requirements and will not explode, which is the main point of a power supply. If you have a bit of extra money, then I recommend you adding an aftermarket CPU cooler in the ID Cooling SE214XT. This one is going to keep the noise levels down and it's going to be a more quiet experience, and overall the aesthetic is going to be nicer. It's not a must. I think the stock cooler from AMD is going to work great with the 5600, but it is going to be a nice upgrade. Please let me know in the comment section if you have any questions regarding your future PC build or pre-built PC, and I will be happy to answer. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.